Hello and welcome to EFAP Mini Superchat Catchup for episode 311, where we broke down The Thing.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Gonna check out some of the messages you guys sent us, and we're just gonna talk about them. So here we go. Where is
Yeah, I hope they're good
Dipwolf?
ones.
Dipwolf will not be
Is he
returning. He
safe?
will not be in
Is he
Avengers
alright?
Doomsday. I'm so sorry. But
He joins a long cast of characters who will not become Avengers when they
no.
were really hoping that they'd become Avengers. But they did not, and they will not. They lost the tryouts.
This one says next year then, lads. With a smiley face. Not sure what they mean.
Oh,
Maybe they mean that's when we'd read it,
when
which
we read
joke's on
this?
them. We've read it
Yeah.
not a year later, but sometime later. Time has passed.
That's right.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Fleamish massives. Farewell and adieu to you massives of Fleam. Shark Arc for Halloween.
Aha.
Maybe one day. Maybe
Shark
one day.
Arc. We could do that. There's a lot of shark movies out there. Would we extend if we had a shark arc?
Mhm.
Would that would we be able to have like honorary like barracuda or piranha movies or
No,
mutant
there's way
fish?
too many shark films already. Like, to get all the
Okay.
thing is, I don't even know how many Jaws films we'd be doing, because isn't Jaws 4 like
How many are
iconically
there?
bad? Well, that's kind of my point already. It's
Ooh, I
like
don't
we
know.
tend not to, we'd have to solve it. It would be a big meeting. We'd bring in all of our scientists. We'd have to really figure it out. A lot of shark movies out there. We're talking hundreds.
You could do that with Starship Troopers. There's like 4 of them,
Yes.
and apart from the first one, I think they're all famously bad. I
Mm.
saw the 3rd or 4th one, and it was
Marauders.
really bad.
I
It might
saw
have been that. I forget.
that one. More spooky. We are so close to get the Wolf and Rags Golem stream. I got the full set, also hi Rags, and hi to everyone else.
Hello.
Oh.
Yo.
There you go. The Thing, The Shining, The Descent, The Exorcist, and 1408 are probably my top 5, though 1408 is definitely on the subjective side for me. I was going to say, that one to me feels not as good as the others. But, it's fine. It's up to you. Yeah, it's a good list. The real question is, will Hitler would think of The Thing? Oh, sorry, I missed out what? So what would Hitler think of The Thing? I don't know.
He'd love it.
Would he?
'Cause
I just
he's
don't know
a
about his film
great
opinions.
movie, right?
But
Oh, that's true. Who
it's
doesn't like The Thing except for,
I
well,
mean, the world when it came out.
the world, I guess, yeah.
It's unfortunately.
Maybe he wouldn't like it.
Maybe he wouldn't.
Maybe Hitler would really let us down.
My God, again? Gee.
Gosh. He's just one disappointment after the next with that guy.
Okay, I can't trust him. This movie is a masterclass in smart people making great mix of good decisions and forced wrong decisions because of the paranoia. No hand sandwiches should be required viewing for directors today. Fuck yeah, dude. It's
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it's a trophy case horror film. It is the perfect blueprint. It is wonderful. Never has paranoia been nailed better.
Made a good point, right? The mixture of smart decisions, but then the wrong decisions under pressure or because of their distrust of each other. The point being that the decisions are informed by character.
Mm-hmm. The ting goes skrat. Pop, pop, kakaka, skibbity pop, pop, and a poo poo boom, skya, doo doo. Is that supposed to be doo doo like doo doo or da da? I'm not sure. A dun dun poom poom. You dunno, Big Shack, hi yo, yeah, all bright, fire, fire, fire in the booth. Alright. I feel like I might have summoned something, but that's okay.
Ooh, I hope not. You didn't say it in front of the mirror, right? While
No,
you're staring into
no,
the
I would
mirror?
never-
I think
would never
that's
do
one of
that.
those things you have to do. You have to say it into a mirror.
Should be okay then.
I don't know why, but that's just what I hear.
My favorite horror movie, of which only has 2 in-universe problems that both have meta explanations. Game remaster is out before the end of the year. Yeah, it's out. I've been meaning to watch The Thing, but it's too scary. However, you dumbos don't have to be worried about playing DDLC since it's not too scary. I like too scary.
I knew that was coming. I knew the DDLC thing was coming in that super chat. I knew it. I knew that's what he'd say. Yeah, Like, unironically, I knew you were gonna say that. I was bracing for it, and it happened.
It happened.
It happened just as the spiders foretold.
Chat, your objective is to guess who among the hosts is really the thing. Ooh.
Maybe we're all
Goodness.
the thing.
Yeah, maybe we're the thing was the friends along the way, you know?
What if we're all the
us.
thing, but we don't know that we're the thing? Or that the other people are the thing?
That would be awkward, right? Like trying to infect by meeting up in real life, and then the three meet up, and they all realize, "Oh, we're all the thing.
Oh,
Fuck,
Jerry,
whoops."
it's you!
Like, oh, okay,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, how you been? Haven't seen you since,
I thought you died.
God, I did that. Yeah, it was after the reunion.
Thought
in
you got you with
08.
the flamethrower, but you made it. That's great.
Oh no, that was Carl. Yeah, pour one out for Carl.
Thanks for all the fun content this October. I laughed a lot. Thanks for everything, guys. Also, hi, Rags.
Hello.
That was a
Glad
busy,
you laughed a lot.
busy October.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that came out in October, but it's Spooky Ween month.
Spooky. Yeah, I love it.
One of the greatest holidays of the year.
We shall be planning a equally busy and spooky one for the following year. Whoa.
Equally spooky.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's possible, Mahler. The last one was pretty spooky.
It was pretty spooky, I'll give you that. But we're getting a new Final Destination this year, Rags. Oh my god.
Oh my god. That does fill my heart with terror. That is truly horror.
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 The Thing equals 12 Angry Men of horror. Yeah, kind of, yeah. I can see that.
That's kind of an interesting comparison, I suppose. A confined environment, hyper-focused on character.
Happy Halloween Eve, Massives. I'm thrilled you guys are finally covering The Thing. EFAP movies featuring John Carpenter when? I don't know. John Carpenter arc is
And
not
if
impossible.
he would like to... Oh, I thought you meant like featuring him as in like he would be on the show.
Less likely, but you know what?
Less likely, but the door is fucking open, my
It
dude.
is
If you would like to
truly
come on to
open.
EFAP and talk about your movies and watch some with us, man, like unironically, we would be super down for that.
Let's
and
do
we're
it,
not,
Mr. Carpenter.
We're not those corporate,
Mhm.
loser nerds. You could talk about anything you want with us. You could just be honest, and you could tell us how you really feel, and you could tell it to our digital faces. And
tell us about how shit the audience was back when The Thing came out, and how wrong they were. My favorite
us how
horror
you
movie
really
is
feel.
The Last Jedi. What it does to Star Wars is terrifying. For real, though, it's probably Jaws, but The Thing is up there, too. Happy Halloween to all the little demon children out there, and don't forget the best holiday, Christmas, is right around the corner. Stay long. We did
It's
the
an
Grinch
exciting
for
time
Christmas.
of year. It's like I'd mentioned before, for us in America land, we got the big 3 to end the year because we do Thanksgiving here. So each of the last 3 months has a really cool holiday.
They need to invent some more.
I'm reminded of the Grinch. the Illumination one. God damn it. It's the most successful Christmas movie of all time.
At least you can take solace in the fact that it has a pretty negative reputation.
Yay.
Yeah, but they made money.
Ooh.
Yeah, but they didn't ever do it again.
Yay.
There was never a Grinch sequel. And there would have been. There would have been. Which it really does go to show, even though it made all that money, they knew not to make a sequel.
Well, no, they'd say like, well, we told all the story that we needed to tell with that one.
God.
You know, we nailed it.
And speaking of the Grinch, I will say that whenever someone mentions suffering for art, unironically, Jim Carrey telling his horror stories about how much he hated that fucking Grinch outfit, and how he like actually despised it and hated it, and it was torture. And sure enough, here we are 20 years plus later, and they're still showing that all the time on TV.
Because it's awesome.
Because it is, actually. I actually really like that movie quite a bit. That weird-ass fucking movie.
It is really a wacky film, for sure. One of the greatest horror films. It inspired much of my horror art. Also, wait, did Rags always have tentacles and people absorbed into him?
I did, yes. It's just
okay.
Normally, I wear a hat, which covers it up.
There you go, yeah.
What kind of hat?
Cap.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm a cat man. I'm a hat wearing kind of doggo. I like me like me a hat.
Catman. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
You know, some people they when they because I wear sunglasses and a hat pretty much all the time when I go outside. I like the look. I like to accessorize. You know, I like the sun out of my eyes. But they will like I'll wear my sunglasses on the brim of my hat, but they'll be the proper way up. Some people turn them upside down on the brim of their hat. Have you seen that? Why do they Am I missing something? Why do some people turn their sunglasses upside down when they rest on the brim of their hat?
I don't know.
I must be missing something because that seems that's madness. That
I'm
seems
sorry,
ludicrous to me.
I was mildly distracted by a very loud kookaburra.
Oh,
Just
that's fun.
a very loud kookaburra.
Those are
They're good
cool
names.
birds. I like them. They're
I
neat.
love kookaburras. They're great. They're like the. If I had to pick an Australian bird that I would point to as being the most iconic for Australia, it's
Ooh,
funny
that's up
because
there.
you could pick an emu, but I'd probably
Emu,
go with a
yeah.
kookaburra. I really
Ooh,
like
which would it
kookaburras.
be? It might.
Well, the thing is,
Ooh.
emu's on our coat of arms, so like the emu is probably the actually like most iconic. But kookaburras, man, they are really swell. I love that they look perpetually happy.
I wish
I
we could
love
run
them.
the little simulation of knowing, hey, if we brought kookaburras to other places, would they be okay? They wouldn't like hurt anything or eat, like outcompete other things. And we could check just so that we can kind of, get them out there and around. Oh,
I'm not
someone
sure.
shared a science story. So this is really weird, but I'm not fucking with you. It's actually true. So, something we just did was we put mammoth DNA into mice because
Yeah, I
we're
know about this.
testing we're doing testing on seeing if we can eventually, I think the plan is to essentially mutate in a good way, elephants into like being woolly mammoths because their descendants are very genetically close. So let me actually get a picture of the little guys.
No,
They
I've
made
seen
really
them. Yeah,
the really woolly mice.
yeah, they are.
It's really cool. It's great. I think it's a really cool thing that we're doing. Oh my god, look at them. They're woolly. They're mice. They're just really fluffy. This is
That's
great. This
fun.
is excellent. It would be nice to bring back like dodos and stuff, you know?
That'd be cool, but I wonder if that's because woolly mammoth. I suppose it is like you said, right? It's like an elephant. An elephant's like a mammoth. Meanwhile, with the dodo, it's like what exactly would we be pointing to as the bird that is like directly comparable?
It'd just be so fucking
I
funny
don't
if they actually cracked T-Rexes and shit. And we're like, well, they made a
Oh
movie
yeah,
about this.
Jurassic Park.
Okay, this time we actually don't spare any expense when it comes to the security
That
fence.
would,
Well,
I
this
mean,
time
unironically, it would be like,
yeah.
yeah, well, our security will be solid. And it'd be like, yeah. And all
They're
it'll
like,
take
yeah,
is
no,
for it to be proliferated enough that there will be an incident, and then it'll be like, it's Jurassic Park. They're having Jurassic Park right now.
I think the issue with the dodo is that they were on the Galapagos Islands, right? And they didn't have any natural predators until we showed up, and we kind of fucked them over like we do a lot of
Everything.
animals, unfortunately. So we'd be like, okay, dodos, we're sorry.
Human supremacy, yo!
We've used science to revive you, and then you could. I wonder if they'd make like good pets and stuff, because they don't
What a
seem like
woolly-
yeah,
like a
they just sort
mammoth.
of waddle around and they look goofy, and I think they're probably harmless, and they're birds, so they're probably gonna be
Oh, you mean
chill.
dodo would make a
Yeah,
good?
dodo.
Would make a good? I was saying woolly mammoth and be
Yeah,
like,
I
well,
don't think
that'd
Rex
Oh,
thinks
that
the
would be a-
mammoth is
yeah,
a bird.
that'd be
that would be
that would
a
be fucking
pretty
awesome. Could you imagine going to Walmart with a woolly mammoth?
yeah, just walking the woolly mammoth every day, letting him taking him outside to do his business, and you have this massive pile that you
Well,
you
yeah, I
brought him
mean,
to the neighbor's
could you
lawn
imagine?
to do its business, and you're like, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I don't
mean,
know I don't know what the Johnsons were feeding their
it was-
pit bull,
it
but
was- yeah, it's-
Jesus Christ, someone's need to watch out for them because it wasn't us.
pissed me like a fire hose.
God.
God. One of the greatest horror films that inspired much of my horror art. Oh yeah, I read that one. An EFAP on my favorite movie on my birthday. Life is crazy. Praise along.
Yo.
Glory to the Erepta colony.
The Ereptor colony?
Dude, imagine playing a game like a sim where you've got to try and make it would be kind of like the Flood, I guess, but with the Thing. You know, like you crash land, and then you just got to start colonizing everything slowly. Like,
Oh,
and then
okay, right.
humans have got like a settlement, and you've got to avoid them for a bit before you have the confidence to attack them. But you could also do it like subtly. It's just
Yeah.
one guy is scouting, you grab him and morph into him, and then you send him in, and he's just like, "Hey, everybody, I am human."
Yep, still no life on this planet. Hey.
My God, that'd be a fun game.
I
And
guess the
then
interesting thing though is, given that the thing, different things they're willing to work against one another. That would be kind of interesting as a dynamic, right? That like
Yeah, because a
you
lot of
get to a
animals
point
are
where you actually
competitive
have
with themselves. Yeah, they're not social.
certain things compete with other things. Like
you could have enemy
that'd be
things.
kind of
I
interesting.
think that would make sense. Like color coded or something.
Good
But,
things and bad things.
you're not the only thing that
Well, just
landed on this planet.
Maybe, oh, yeah, maybe humans are the weird things because they're not a parasitic life form. That's what makes them weird and creepy. But it's just the norm that alien life is parasitic and weird, but humans aren't.
Make that game. Play it. I wish you all a wonderful and spooky Halloween this year.
Oh, thanks. You too.
Yeah. Oh my God, I was so mad when I heard you all watch this without recording it. I'm so happy now. This is my favorite movie. Well,
Oh, we would never.
I was gonna say the problem with recording us watching that is it's mostly quiet. Like it'll just be us watching it. Obviously, it's not
There's
like
a
we wouldn't
certain
have.
kind of
Yeah,
there'd be things to say, but there's a certain kind of film that best suits EFAP movies format,
hmm
and in many ways, the better it gets, the less suitable it can be because you don't feel compelled to talk.
unless of course we were like, okay, we'll watch it, get notes, and then we're gonna watch it again, and everyone's job is to
And yeah,
talk.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like Lord of the Rings in a way. That's what we ended up doing.
Yeah, that's actually a good example of it. It's like there's a yeah, it's more complicated than, well, if it's good, it's not good for the format. It's like, well, it's it's just that
Familiarity plays a role.
when it's really awful, you can just talk about it
Yeah.
You talk about
nonstop,
anything.
and
You can just
and
talk
you
about
can talk
random
over
shit.
it. That's the thing. You can talk over it. Nobody will care.
I watched this film 3 times and wasn't bored. Oh yeah.
Whoa, awesome. That's a pretty good movie
A
then.
sign of approval right there.
That is a good film.
I noticed the three of you tend to always be very lockstep in your opinions on whatever you're covering. Is this due to coming to a consensus beforehand? Is there any piece of media on which you have notable disagreements? I would say what's happened, considering we've known each other now for a very long time, is it's the communication we have is pretty understood. Like, if there's a certain language I'd say that the three of us are so used to using now that if we disagree, it usually gets solved pretty quickly. But you'll notice on EFAP, we still have what you could call
We do
petty
sometimes, yeah.
disagreements that are usually funny, or
But we don't have any big fundamental ones.
not typically. But even if we do, we're so familiar with how the others sort of would present, counters and stuff. We usually just like, let's clarify first if we got the same information, and sometimes it'll just be a matter of, oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay, yeah, fair. That sort of thing.
Yeah,
and it goes-
exactly.
Yeah, it'll be
And
stuff
then
like that.
there's that as well, right? Of a desire to essentially not conclude a conversation with "let's just agree to disagree." It's like, well, no, let's figure out like what our perspective is, right? It's basically the reason why we can have tangents that last so long is because we're trying to essentially figure out like a point of
Where the
disagreement
break
where it
is.
stems from and how to resolve it, rather than just going like, oh well, shit, what can you do? It's just like, nah, none of that.
And
We have
but
just
sometimes we'll come across a thing where we all agree that the two options maybe function, but that we prefer one, and then the other prefers the other, and that's just that. There's like a bedrock of just we both
sometimes it is
see that way.
subjective and, yeah.
Uh,
We have just enough like sort of that
Like
little
colours.
little bit of aggression in us where we have our conversations have a little bit of stickiness to them. We don't just our words don't just rub off on each other, and like we actually will engage with the things that other people are saying, and we won't I mean, what would be a good way to describe it? Like we like to really get into the like a lot. We don't talk past each other, I suppose. We actually like bump into one another. But I think that foundationally, we don't really have that many
Well, and I would say anyone who's
big
listened to this show
disagreements.
since the beginning, we have ironed out a lot of communication issues over the years of anything like misunderstood or what have you. Like it should probably get to a point eventually where we're really able to understand each other quickly now. Like what
Well,
points we're
yeah, I
looking to
mean,
make.
Yes.
because I mean, an example. It's just typically it could be it could be that a new movie comes out. It could be that not that Captain America, Brave New World is a new movie. That came out
However many
a while.
long ago.
But the point would
Barely
be that, like,
remember it.
for instance, all three of us watch it independently. We could just jump into a call and probably all just say the same number of like what the score would be. It's like, well, how'd that happen? It's because we're trying to operate off of a consistent standard, and if the standard is consistent and being applied as best as possible by all three of us, then it should sort of naturally yield similar conclusions.
Yeah,
Aside from instances where there are where we have disagreements or misunderstandings on particular points of reference or certain aspects of a character's history, these sorts of things can generate those disagreements. But if we're operating on the same standard and we're trying to apply it consistently, then we should generally be arriving at similar conclusions.
and a lot of the time you'll find that despite the fact that we use a similar format for communication and analysis, we'll all have different preferences on what we want to talk about first or what we think is more of a
Exactly.
problem. But, when the leader's revealed, right? It's like you start with accuracy of the comic or what it looks like in and of itself or what like tone of the film is at the time or the fact that they changed his design and they originally had the other one. It's like you can do all these points. It's just like which do you choose first, which do you think is most important, which you want to talk about. And, it creates the bit of dynamism. And yeah, we have guests, we have all kinds of different backgrounds, interests, history. I've always thought it was neat that it was British, American, and Australian. That's like
An interesting selection.
yeah, it creates a bit of cultural conversation here and there, which I think we've had a bunch of those. So yeah, I would suspect it's a continuity error for Cap's reasons, and in my experience, movies not representing chess correctly is very common. Oh yeah, we would. There's the opening chess scene has got quite a few different layers of meaning to it, and then if you really want to look into it, you can explain away the screen looking different in the two shots, even though it's very likely just a continuity issue. So, if EFAP ends up in a thing situation, is it safe to say that Rags was the initial carrier? Just because he's a dog? Damn.
That's kind of
Jeez.
a
Yeah.
that's
Didn't start with a
yeah,
dog. It ended with a dog in their sector, their group. It started with the alien in the big ice cube.
very hurtful thing to say.
Hi, Rags.
Hello.
Way delayed, I know, but I think everyone keeps the ROTC jacket. They are great, and if someone says they didn't, they're channeling Anakin. Liar.
Yep, I definitely kept mine. They're talking about the yeah, I can probably get you you've seen him before. Uh da, 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 da. What is oh, here it is. Yep, here's a picture of it. Copy image, paste the image. This bad boy. Oh, those are snug as a bug in a rug, man.
Hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely kept mine. Those things are they form pretty tight to your body, so they're really good for heat. You don't get a lot of air movement or anything in there. Great color, classic olive, and boy, they're just I just what a great sweater. Absolutely kept mine. Wasn't supposed to, but oh, we all did.
Fair
A lot of
enough.
those go missing, all right?
Imagine the dog having an argument with the director.
I would win.
Well, it'd just be like, I have to wear a lot of prosthetics in this scene. Can we please get it done fast? I just don't. I don't appreciate like the hours and hours of being sprayed with goo and to film this scene. Like, can we please get this done? The director's like, hey, I'll make some sacrifices for the art, okay, buddy?
Remember to spray and gooter your pets.
remember watching this movie a few years ago for the first time, and while I didn't like it, I acknowledged at the time that it was extremely well made. I think I'll rewatch it tomorrow. Hey, you know,
Oh yeah, I would. I hope
Totally
you.
fine.
I hope you really enjoy it.
Hmm.
It's good that you can appreciate something while not liking it.
Not
You know, not
feeling it.
everything's going to be your cup of tea. You know.
If there was another actor other than Kurt Russell that flourished in a Carpenter movie, it's Keith David. Holy cow, he kills it here and in They Live. I mean, who doesn't love Keith David and everything?
I'm just thinking about the fight. And the South Park version of the fight. Timmy, I told
Yeah.
you to put on the hat! You dirty motherfucker! It's a fun fight. Both versions.
They used a stunt double to hide who it was. Fun fact, the stuntman, Dick Warlock, was Michael Myers in Halloween 2 and Hooper's scuba double in Jaws. Yes.
Can we?
think we
I
mentioned
don't want to
that.
gloss over. I don't want to gloss over it. This gentleman's name is Dick Warlock.
That is a fucking cool name.
That is
right?
a really awesome name, Dick Warlock. Jeez,
I
that
wonder if
sounds
it's the
like
original name or he
that
changed
sounds like
it.
that sounds like a class specialization at Hogwarts. What are you studying for? I'm here to get my degree and become a Dick Warlock. Actually,
Springy mentioned that The Thing is based on John Campbell's novella, but he was inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's book, Who Goes There? Quinn's Review does a good video about it with one story from the alien's perspective. Beautiful. That dog was also White Fang.
White Fang from. Did they say what movie?
Well, the dog was I remember that the dog has been in other films. I
Yeah,
think
that's something
he
you
is a dog
mentioned in
actor.
the.
He is a dog actor.
What's White Fang from?
I think that was the name of the film as well.
Jed Wolf. Oh, it brings up actually Jed is the name of the. Yeah, it even says Jed, Alaskan Malamute actor.
Good for him. He was great in The Thing.
He really was. Oh man, he was old. He was born in 77 and he died in 95.
That's
He was an old
that's
dog.
a long life. That is a long life.
Action stunt. It looks like White Fang was. Oh, of White Fang. So yeah,
Well, yeah, wolf dog.
he's a wolf dog.
I'm pretty sure the first victim was intended to be Palmer, but his actor's shadow was too distinct. A lot of evidence, including the shape of the shadow, points to Norris, but the intention was Palmer.
It's either it's between those two, but yeah, but it feels like it because I can't remember who we concluded it was. I think it was I think we concluded on Norris, right?
I can't remember.
Can't
But...
remember, but whatever we decided was probably correct.
Jed is a better actor than Amanda Stenberg. Correct. He's quite
Jed's a
awful,
really
actually.
good
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, she's pretty. I find it so fascinating that you would get somebody who's pretty bad to play essentially an even more demanding role because you got to play two people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the idea that's like, oh well, you know, we always wanted her to play the role. It's like, why? I don't
Always
understand.
did.
Why? What? Like, why? I do not get it.
What do you see in her that no one else saw?
Shocking at times. Fun fact, the reason the dog behaves like that is because it was half wolf and was territorial. The trainers needed to be close by in case it tried to attack. Really? Considering it's like
Yes, it was half
I
a
don't
Vancouver
know.
Island wolf.
Well, the fact that it was a well-known wolf dog actor, etc., you would have thought that would be unlikely that it was at risk of attacking people.
So used to people.
You'd think, but what do I know?
Mhm.
And I assume they're talking about when we were talking about that shot where it's just staring out the window. It's such a good little moment for putting the audience in a particular way. Do the Sleepaway Camp trilogy next. Halloween. Oh, next Halloween. Well, Halloween, the next one is already recorded. What could it be? Who can say?
I could, but I'm not gonna. Because those papers I signed.
If a little saliva could infect someone, all the Thing would have to do to win would be using that spraying mouth the kennel thing had to douse all of the crew. Clearly it doesn't work that way. We did have a discussion about this, right? Like, is like the fundamental complication of the biology of the thing. If it's only going to take like a tiny microbe, then there are probably very efficient ways it could spread. But it's complicated because simultaneously, it's like it makes it very. I think they do an excellent job in the film of arguing that the thing was trying lots of different avenues to, because of course
Yeah.
at first it wants to do it as stealthily as possible.
But then, you know, it's just that you know, when the thing gets cornered, it's typically
Annex.
when shit gets crazy. But otherwise, that the thing is actually quite cunning, like very clever, intelligent, sort of, and patient as well. It's
Well, you know when
kind of what
it like
makes
vibrates and
different.
spits and is going blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
always picture that as it basically being like go into overdrive for development, and that it doesn't have like 100%
Ramp
control
up.
over itself.
Yeah, exactly. Like ramp up super duper fast, kind of
Like a
throw everything at the
primal,
wall and see what sticks in terms of like
almost
a massive.
instinctive.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
I feel
well,
like it's a bit of a panic. Like it's trying to use
I think
its.
so. Well, the thing is that the thing is quite vulnerable. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, flamethrower and that's it dead. Like obviously it's, you know, its capacity is greater than that of a human being in terms of like all of the different parts and splitting off into multiple parts and growing all sorts of limbs and, you know, teeth and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, flamethrower that wipes him out.
Your
I
rig
mean, the
is.
thing is that the thing in the original, because in the prequel movie, the thing is like absurdly overpowered. It's like fucking running around, doing all sorts of
It's
crazy shit, super duper strong. Like
yeah.
it's
I don't know why they
absurd.
made it like that instead of. I mean, I guess the spectacle of it isn't it more so
It's worse.
spectacular
The
that it could do all
spectacle's
that
worse.
stuff. But I
It's just
guess it's
worse.
yeah, it's the issue with like in a way the sort of lightsaber battles and between the prequels and the OT in a way, but
I don't know about
it
that.
should have.
Like,
Yeah, I guess there's more justification for it.
I like the argument that they were all extremely good at their lightsaber skill. That in the OT we had Luke, Obi-Wan, and Vader, who all have different like variables, and that the
And you know,
prequels you're
Luke's still
filled
doing
with.
flips and shit. You know, he's still
Yeah,
jumping
yeah.
around, doing kind of cool things.
Yeah, because I think that's something we discussed when we covered the RLM videos. Like, I don't agree that the prequels like destroyed lightsaber battles. If anything, some of them are amazing.
No, they didn't.
Some of
Yeah,
them are
they
awesome.
some of them are very awesome.
It's the sequels definitely did way more damage to everything to do with that.
That's just a clear downgrade.
Your rig is red. It's red. There's a med
It's
pack
red.
and a flashlight in that locker. Go ahead and take it. We're gonna burn for what we did to you, Mauler. Shots. All right.
Oh, that's a Dead Space.
Yeah.
Dead Space 2.
reference.
Yeah.
And
Right at
they
the beginning
follow
of
up
Dead
with
Space 2.
sad that Dead Space 2 remake ain't happening, and us three would have played the fuck
yeah.
out of that if they had made it.
Yeah.
But
I would have
well.
played. I am legitimately. What a goddamn
Well, there's more
shame.
money to be made from fucking FIFA. That's the unfortunate reality.
It's so sad that Dead Space 1 remake was so fucking good.
It's
Yeah, it was
amazing.
amazing. It was amazing.
I've enjoyed it so much. It's so great. It's everything a good remake should be. Damn.
We need a
But
supercut of every
Mm.
time the word thing is said in this episode. Hey, if you want to make it, all right? If you want to make
Joe
it.
Danger.
Joe's busy, okay?
He needs to move his attention to this important project.
They said the thing. I clapped when they said it. Very nostalgic, Sequel ideas. Things. Another thing. The Thing is Dead. The Final Thing. Thing Reborn. McCready. A Thing Movie. TVS. Dawn of Things. Or Thingamajig.
Here comes the thing.
That new thing. Or Thing Again? Question mark. These are the best titles,
Thing.
obviously.
Thing, here he comes.
Oh no, it's The Thing.
Oh shit, it's Dr. Thing.
Kurt Russell and Mel Gibson have both played Santa. Watch Fat Man for EFAP movies, Crimbo. Halloween is the better holiday, though. High rags, fringy, cap, etc.
Hello.
Hello.
Also, a dichotomy between McCready and Childs: leadership by persuasion or leadership by aggression. The end is a stalemate. The audience must decide.
That's an interesting angle to think about. Because the thing is that because Childs did want to sort of take the lead, but nobody wanted him to. Meanwhile, like McCready, essentially, it was recognized and accepted. Oh, I think we'd all be more comfortable if you were in charge.
I know you've already passed the scene, but why do you think McCready erased the recording of Nobody Trusts Anyone Anymore?
There is
Like a risk of it being found and it doesn't exactly help him.
maybe it would maybe he doesn't want it to seem like he is too paranoid himself. So if in the recording he doesn't, because he's a bit prideful, as we see from the opening. He doesn't want to lose that chess match, and he'll, kind of, caveman knows best, and so maybe there's an element of, if someone reads it, they don't want him to think, oh, so he was paranoid in the sense that he was worried about everyone, and maybe he was, afraid to a degree.
It's just
Um,
information, right? Like it's information that could be made available that's probably not going to serve him in any way. If anything, it's potentially detrimental.
Interesting. I was looking at other people discussing it, and someone said it might be that he destroyed it because if someone found it, it could serve as evidence that he's the thing.
I guess the thing it's interesting to bring that up because it's kind of we talked about it when we were covering it, but I know it's a point that John had made, the idea of like that there's not like a great understanding of what the thing even is in terms of the way that it thinks and operates. Like it kind of develops over the course of the film, but that there's even instances where there's almost like a reaction where like a character like you remember when Windows is getting the blood test, and it's almost like he's getting ready. It's like he's getting ready for a bad outcome when it's like, well, you should know, right? And it's like, but that's almost part of the paranoia, is that like you almost wonder if you're the thing and you don't even know it. Is kind of like an element that sort of arises in the minds of certain characters. Is kind of like, speaks to the nature of the paranoia that the thing elicits in the men.
it's a
That's
fair thought to have. They're so good at mimicking us. Do they even know?
Now, of course, the conclusion is they absolutely do know. Like
Yeah.
the
Yes.
people who are the thing, they know when they are actively working to, assimilate and take over. But
Not
it's,
an
from the
unreasonable thing to
perspective of the human
consider, though.
characters. No, I mean we talked about it during the coverage, and it's part of what's
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
about the thing is that it prompts a significant amount of conversation about everything that happens in it, variety of interpretations. I mean, it was mentioned the ending, right? Like that everybody fights over who was the thing at the end and what happened at the end of the film.
Yeah, and obviously the Carpenter never wants to answer that question because why the fuck would he?
No, why would you? It's way better if people fight over was Child's the thing? Were both of it'd be a bit more of a stretch to wonder if both of them are the thing, considering that you're following McCready the whole time, but. I know that even that's kind of speculated on as well.
Imagine that just happened to break the immersion, but nope, the characters are all sincere and scared, and you stay horrified with them. Yep.
Yeah, we need to return to sincerity in storytelling. It's getting
Yep.
particularly frustrating how often characters are effectively looking at the camera going, haha, this is fucking retarded, isn't it? Meanwhile, essentially, of course, this is channeled into comic book movies. Ha, that's stupid, while we make money adapting it.
Yep.
Drives me crazy.
Thunderbolts, what a stupid name. Look at yours,
Uh,
dude. It looks stupid.
I bet the thing blood makes fringy noises.
I don't. I mean, we see it, and it doesn't make that sound.
That's true. It does not make those sounds.
I mean, it goes
Maybe
when it
Fringy
pops
just is
up.
doing a poor imitation of it.
Well, I'm not trying to imitate it.
Allegedly.
Ooh.
Just what
Distrust
the
fills
thing
the
would
ranks.
say.
Oh no.
Thanks, EFAP, for helping me deal with the childhood trauma from watching this without knowing what it was. Cringing like mad, but appreciating it anew. We'll watch it again from behind the sofa. Good. Everyone should
Yeah.
watch and rewatch. It's a brilliant film. Interesting that it didn't go for the helpless guys tied up. It went for the guy with the functioning weapon. Probably would have gone for Mac next. I mean, that's what is kind of the fun of the film, is you can think for a while about all the decisions it makes and why. With how much stress
Yes,
it's
of
technically
course,
under.
because well, you know, Norris, right, popping chest open and munching on Copper's arms, right? It's
Mhm.
like that's a yeah, but I mean, it's a good point, right? That the Palmer thing goes for Windows first rather than Childs and damn it, Gary, who are tied up.
Question for Capital O. Do you think the thing would have been better if it had at least one snap zoom? Hi, Rags. TFA Bot 5 when?
I'm working hard on it, and I hope that it lives up to everyone's expectations. But there's a lot of stuff to go through. There's a lot of stuff to go through, and a lot of stuff that I am discovering along the way. So yeah, pretty wild stuff.
Cap likes his snap zooms, and yes. Someday, eventually, who knows? Not even Jesus.
Not even Jesus. Oh Jesus. Oh God. Oh Jesus.
Oh God. The Thing video game came out in early 2000s, was fairly decent. It's also getting remastered, coming out in 2024 or early 2025. Yeah, it is out. Go play it now. Wish. First time catching you live. Love this movie, and you're inspiring me to make my own channel. Hey.
Hey, that's awesome.
Good. I tend to make my friends upset because of how much I hate modern media. Well, they'll join you soon enough if they
Yep.
don't realize already. Y'all please need to get Big Bungie on here ASAP. You guys know that channel?
I know
No.
of him. I don't really know much about him though.
Well, maybe we will in the future.
Maybe in the future. True.
Just stumbled across the stream. The Thing is one of my favorite Carpenter films. We'll catch the replay. Happy Halloween, all you massives. Happy Halloween.
Happy
A
Halloween.
lot of people's favorites. Probably because fucking great. Could be it.
Oh yeah.
Reckon. For Big Thing fans, I would like to recommend Carrion. Carrion, I assume, is some horror movie.
Carrion movie.
2020.
2016.
Oh. Like we found different ones.
Oh, Carrion 2020.
A young woman who has telekinetic abilities shows up on her cousin's doorstep after 10 years in a mysterious Russian facility. As dark events from the past resurface, something in the woods begins hunting them. Oh. Well, maybe. Got a 2.9 out of 10 on IMDb, though.
Yeah, it's not rated well.
It's not rated well.
Maybe instead of carrying, we should carry on.
Ooh.
Maybe that's something that we could.
Yeah, well, fuck you too, Mel Gibson. Epic Mel Gibson quote, yeah.
I didn't know he spoke thingies.
Learned it for the movie. Quick question. Is Palmer saying you gotta be fucking kidding with the spider thing genuine or a misdirect by another vessel for the thing?
Well, I think that's why it's so interesting. He is definitely the Thing, because that's when they do the blood test right after that. So the conclusion to be drawn from that is that, because it's a worthwhile thing, even though it's already been acknowledged before this point in the film that like these sorts of things aren't necessarily going to convince anybody, definitively. But like doing that, if you point out the Thing and then get it destroyed. If you don't know that the things will actually work against the other, if they think that it will increase their chance of survival, then that's an idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, hey, if he was the Thing, why would he essentially signal to McCready to kill another thing? But I mean, it's kind of what he acknowledges immediately in the blood test anyway. The conclusion is that the things will operate independently. That's what's to be concluded from Norris's head popping off and trying to run away. is that they are like individual entities with their own objectives in mind, and that they're willing to, because the blood, right? If the thing could control its own blood, then it wouldn't want to try and survive itself, right? It would take the hit to preserve the greater entity, but that's not how it works.
Yeah, it's down to each individual cell. It has its own like self-preservation.
Yeah, and hence it's really interesting that Palmer essentially gets Norris thing killed because it might further his own survival. But again, there were arguments earlier in the film where they've made the point that like, well, the thing could do that, so like that doesn't prove anything. It is unsatisfactory. Like, well, why would the thing do that? It's like, well, maybe the thing would do that to convince you that it's not the thing. This of course is your indication that this is like a real movie, then rather than a dog shit like a lot of these shit modern horror movies where characters don't actually just make the correct conclusions.
Correct.
They're made like at least temporarily stupid, or stupid until the third act to perpetuate the drama, rather than instantly coming to the correct conclusions about the situation based on the information available to them. What makes the thing so great.
I got here late, but play Trails in the Sky. Maybe someday.
Maybe.
Who looks more similar? Kurt Russell, Mel Gibson, or Javier Bardem and Javier Bardem?
Oh, obviously, Mel Gibson and Kurt Russell look way closer.
This is a reference, by the way, to the time where I can't remember which of you two it was, but someone was looking at Javier Bardem and said he looks like Javier Bardem.
I think that was me. And I can't remember what it was for. Was it for Dune?
Yeah, it's fair.
Could have been.
Was it Dune? I think it might have been. I can't remember.
That's fair with a lot of actors because you don't see them, every day. You see them in, captured in moments, especially when they're in makeup and they are made to look a certain way for a movie. And then it's like if you don't see a relative after a while and you're like, oh shit, wow, it's you.
Wow, you're ugly. I mean, different.
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you see relatives after a while and you're like, oh shit, that was unfortunate.
Yeah, they had a horrible life in the last few years. And they made it, and that's great. Anyway, that's it for those messages for The Thing. Thank you so much for checking out the episode, for sending in these kind donations, and we shall see you in the next thing, whatever the thing is.
Yeah, everybody.
Good thing.
Yeah, see you later.
Goodbye, everyone. Until we thing again.
Thing.